The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
Well, the Wisconsin hockey team picked up its first 2 wins of the season this past weekend against Arizona State. And for freshman goalie Matt Jurusik, he picked up his first 2 wins as a Badger.
Yeah, it's huge for our confidence going into this weekend, knowing how to close out games here since, we only took a 2-1 lead going into the third Saturday night, so that was big to hold on to it.
I'm Brian Posick, the radio voice of Wisconsin hockey, and head coach Mike Eaves joins us next on the Badger Hockey Digest.
The Badger Hockey Digest is brought to you by Charter Communications.
Well, freshman goalie Matt Jurusik stopped 43 of 45 shots last weekend, and the Badgers swept Arizona State 5-1 and 2-1. And Mike Eaves now joins us here. Congratulations on those 2 victories. Never easy to beat anybody at any time, and certainly Arizona State put up a fight in that third period on Saturday. But I would say for at least 5 periods, you guys played some pretty good hockey, didn't you?
Well, for 5.5 periods, we were in their zone a whole lot more in their own zone. And actually, when we checked out the game, the chances, we had more chances on Saturday than we did on Friday. So we did a lot of good things. It's funny how a couple more goals certainly would have made it easier, but that is not always the case. You're always not going to offensive hockey kind of comes in goals, and goals come in bunches, and then they don't come, and that's why you have to rely on your ability to play without the puck. And we scored goals on Friday, and we found a way to win a close game on Saturday, which is good for us.
Yep, the coaches have worked hard at it. The players have worked hard at it as well. Nice to be rewarded for those efforts.
No question. I think, as we talked about yesterday in the press conference, you gain confidence in practice by the way you work hard, but that confidence becomes solidified in what you do in the game and finding a way to win.
Yep. One young man that always works hard is Ryan Wagner. He had a couple of goals on Friday night. And here's a young man that's 5'8", 180 pounds or so, and puts himself in front of the net, in particular on the power play, takes shots from the opposing players, but finds ways to scramble things up or mix things up in there. Now, he's not like Jed Soloway because Jed's a bigger body. Right. How is Ryan so effective down low like that?
Well, first of all, there's a willingness there. He's got the heart of a wrestler, and he actually kind of enjoys being in those spots and banging around, and he's willing to go to the front end. He's got a real good stick. He's got a quick stick, so he can get to pucks, he can get to rebounds, and because of that factor, he's very effective there.
Yeah, and Ryan, in fact, told me earlier that he doesn't think about his size whatsoever. He likes the physicality of playing in front of the net.
I don't really look at myself as like a smaller guy. I mean, I like to get in the dirty areas, throw some big hits, kind of pump up the crowd and the guys on the bench. And I don't know, I kind of like battling in front. I mean, I'm not afraid to sit in there, take shots off the body or anything like that. I kind of just do whatever it takes to take away the eyes of the goalie, if that's tying up in front and trying to get their player in front of his eyes or whatnot like that.
Yeah, Ryan's really fun to watch. And Jed Soloway, too. He is so good in front of there. He's awfully difficult to move out.
220 pounds, he's a load out there. And it's interesting. And a lot of the goals that we've scored, in particular, I can think of Timmy Davison's tying goal up at Ferris. Jed was right in front of the goal. He got no assist on the play, but was a big factor in that puck going in the net. So he does a lot of those unsung things that people don't see. And he was awarded the game puck on Saturday night. He had a goal and assist. So just kind of a little pat on the back for doing all those little things.
Yeah, and that net front presence in front of the offensive net. Now, there's going to be a lot of contact there. Players need to learn how to get away from that contact so they can get their stick down and maybe give them a chance to score. Right?
Well, there's definitely technique. You can get to a guy, and then when you think that the puck is coming toward you, you can actually push off and to gain space, much like a receiver will do when a ball is going to be thrown through him on the football field. So there's little techniques that they work on and try to create space for themselves.
All right, the Badgers 2-3-3 this season and back on the road, this time to Grand Forks to take on the top-ranked team in the country. We'll talk more about North Dakota coming up in just a moment.
Game night. That magical weekly gathering where lands are conquered. And you get trapped in the dungeon that is your bedroom. But you've got blazing fast Spectrum internet. So Kevin and his friends have enough bandwidth to play together. And you have enough left over to find a new apartment. Get 60 megabits of dragon-slaying speed with Spectrum internet. Where will it take you?
This is Andrew Zielsdorf. He plays hockey. This is leukemia. It's bad business. This is Andrew's oncology team. They love Andrew. They don't like leukemia. And thanks to them, Andrew is now cancer-free. Booyah. They are the world-renowned physicians, scientists, and nurses at the American Family Children's Hospital, pioneers in pediatric cancer care. UW Health. Remarkable.
Wisconsin and North Dakota will meet for the 167th and 68th times this weekend up at Grand Forks Ralph Engelstad Arena. I never saw the old building, Mike. What was Engelstad Arena like, the original?
Well, my dad played at the real original back in the 50s, and then we played in the newer version of the Engelstad. And it was, what I remember about that building is the fact that the corners were egg-shaped, so the puck was always in play, and no matter where you were, you're going to run into somebody.
Yeah, and you think about the 70s and 80s, it seemed like Wisconsin and North Dakota just exchanged national championships every year, didn't it?
It was two historic programs that had good talent and went back and forth, and you know it's been well documented the fierce competitiveness of the two rivals.
Yeah, but Ralph Engelstad Arena now is a treat to play in and a treat for fans to go to, and most of your players have never been there before.
Correct.
So what do you tell them as they walk into that building to get prepared for this weekend?
Well, just be ready for every moment on the ice. You're going to be involved. You're going to run into somebody. The puck's going to be near you. Things will happen quickly there, and the fans. It's a great building to play in because the fact if you can learn to play in that environment, you can play anywhere.
Yeah, and I would think the same would be true of Boston. Learning how to play in Boston, learning that atmosphere, playing against teams like that should benefit you this week.
Oh, no, there's no question. Even playing at Fair State, it's just a small rink that it was, but with 2,000 people, it was packed. They were right on top. It was loud. It was crazy. The puck bouncing everywhere. That in itself, that Fair State experience will help us tremendously going into North Dakota.
Yeah, I tell you, it's been a lot of fun going to the rink every day at practice, going to the rink every day for games. You see it because you talk about it all the time and you try to share it with the media and the fans, but I see it too watching. You're seeing the progress that this team is making, aren't you?
It's phenomenal, and it's funny how some people tend to frame it, the fact that people will come out and say that we haven't won in 8 months. Well, the last time we won was February 20th. We only had 7 games left, and then we don't play for 6 months. So people are framing it the fact that we haven't won in 8 months, which makes no sense to me. The fact is, we come to the rink on a day-to-day basis. We work with these kids that are here with us now. And these kids are getting better, and they're fun to be around, and we're controlling what we can, and that's on a day-to-day basis.
And I tell you, Seamus Malone is fun to watch, and Patrick Sexton is a young man, number 4, a 21-year-old freshman defenseman who puts it on the line every time he's out there. He's captain material, it seems like, doesn't he?
No, he's been a captain. He was a captain of the Penticton Vees last year when they won the British Columbia Hockey League Championship. And he's got a great pedigree that way, and his heart is as big as his chest, and he'll be a young man that helps us out this year.
Yep. So now the Badgers play North Dakota, then a week off, and then home against Denver. And the 1980-81 championship team will be honored on that Saturday night during the Denver game. Tough couple of weeks here against 2 very good teams, but we've seen this so far this season. You've played the top 5 teams, or will, the top 5 teams in the country, and in turn, this is going to help down the road.
Well, when you play against better teams, you raise your level, you become a better team yourself, and I think the fact is it's an opportunity for us to, I think all good seasons come, you have to have a signature victory, and we have the opportunity to have the signature victory in the next couple of weeks, so we're excited about it. I know the guys are talking about it already, and we'll see what happens.
All right. North Dakota and Wisconsin, Friday and Saturday night. Puck drops Friday at 7:30 and then Saturday at 7. Both games on the Badgers Sports Network. Also, it's available. There's a video stream at nchc.tv. For Mike Eaves, I'm Brian Posick, and thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.